Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am pineconesushi and today is procrastination day. So uh, today I just wanted to do something a little bit different than my regular keychains. So I had decided I'm going to do some coloring. So what you're looking at right now is my coloring book. This is the cover for my coloring book. I do keep this on just to protect my book from the elements. I will show you what this book looks like. There we go. So this one, I think I got from the dollar store or from Walmart. I forgot which one it was, but it's just like a simple book that I thought was quite interesting. It's a mythographic color and discover animals, an artist's coloring book of amazing creatures and hidden objects. Okay, so this is what it is, what this book is, and basically what I do is that I take, hold on, I take my cover of my book here and I put it into this flap here that has been closed off on the sides. Okay, and then that way when I open it up, it's protected. So this is my first page, my second, and now I'm doing my third. So I haven't really gotten far into this book, and that's unfortunately something that keeps happening to me. Like I will start doing a book, and then I'll get bored of the book, and then I just kind of do things sporadically. Something I do want to say though is when you are doing coloring books, you don't have to start from the front to the back or the back to the front. You can literally start in the middle, whichever one, um, whichever piece of art catches your eye. You're like, this one is very interesting. I'm going to do this one. Now, this book in particular, it is just one-sided. So like each page has one uh, design on it, one creature. As you can see, they're all very pretty. This one's a snail, and there's a griffin. So I really like this book, okay? And the reason why I like doing these ones with the one-sided uh, art on each page is because if you do like what you've done, you can actually cut out the page and you can frame it, okay? So right now I am going to be working on the rhinoceros, but before I do that, I have to get everything ready, okay? And you would think like, don't you have everything ready? Not particularly. I am a little bit, as you can tell from my other videos, I am a little bit particular of what I have, what I'm using, where things are. So I'm just going to show you guys just a few of the things that I use. So one thing that I use this eraser. Okay, I generally use this when I have small mistakes that I need to correct, and usually when I'm starting a coloring, I do a light color on top of, like, let's say this green here. I do a light green first, and if I don't like that green, I can erase most of the color away with this eraser. I know it looks like it hasn't been used. It's just that I've cut off some of the edges, the rounder edges, just to make it a sharp edge once more. And that just makes it easier for me to go back in and do like finer erasing. Okay, sometimes like my pencils will slip up, so I just want to use the eraser just to go over it lightly, just to make my page clear again. Okay, the other thing I usually bring with me when I'm doing coloring is, of course, our pencil sharpeners. And as you can tell, I like Staedtler. Okay, I don't use their pencil crayons, but I do like their pencils, like their graphite pencils. But I do like Staedtler. This is one of my favorites pencil sharpeners. I know it's not very fancy looking, but I usually use this pencil sharpener when I have the super small pencils like this. So when I have a short pencil crayon or colored pencil, however you want to say it, but in Canada, or at least how I grew up, uh, I've always been brought up to say they're pencil crayons. So I'm just going to keep using that term. So this pencil crayon is incredibly short, but it doesn't mean you can't use this anymore. You can definitely use this. And I like to use as much of the pencil crayon as I possibly could until I cannot hold it anymore. So I think I showed this to you guys when I was talking about my pencil crayon box, was that you can use these extenders here, so that when you have a short pencil like this, you can put it in here like that and slip that there, and you have a pencil that you can use. Okay, and you basically what it does is that it helps you hold the pencil properly between your fingers here, and so that it also rests on um, the cradle of your hand right here, so that your hand doesn't get too tired while gripping your pen or pencil. Because if you don't have this, when you're holding your pencil like this, for me, it actually just hurts my hand in general. It kind of hurts like right over here. So I usually like using these pencil extenders. Now, what I did talk about in my pencil crayon box video was that I actually use a pen. So uh, I'm going to show you the pen. I did find an empty one, or yeah. So here it is. This is the it's kind of like an Asian pen. It has a cute little fish on here. These come in all sorts of colors. I think the other one had a pen on it, but I really like this blue one with the fishies on it. Okay, so basically, what had happened was that this was a gel pen, and the chamber of the gel pen had actually, that held the ink, kind of leaked and exploded at the end here. You can see some of the ink that has come off there. But basically, what I found out was you take this. Okay, I just took out the cap, and you can actually take off. You just unscrew it. You take out the pen, the ink cartridge that's in the inside with the ballpoint. You can take that out, so don't need those. But you want this, okay? And I found out that this particular pen body, chamber, whatever you want to call it, was actually perfect for my pencil crayons. And this is actually what I use, just like that. This is actually what I use when I need to sharpen my pencils. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a few twists here. Okay, or like even just like regular holding, it was just perfect. It's steady, it doesn't wobble. This is just how it works for me. Okay, so I have that. I'm just gonna put that away because I'm not gonna be using this color right now, or at least for this video. Okay, there we go. So this is something else that I use. I'm just going to put it to the side with all the other things I have. Let's see, what else do I use? I use this. This is so fancy, guys. This is the most high-tech paper towel that you will ever find in your house. No, I'm kidding. This is just Bounty. And I just fold it up, and I just put it on my coloring book, and basically I rest my hand on it. And the reason why I do this is when I am coloring, I guess I'm gonna use my pen. When I'm coloring or when I'm writing, but mostly when I'm coloring, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like my hand here actually rests on the page, so it doesn't lift up. Like my hand doesn't lift up. I actually lean it on whatever surface I'm writing on. Okay, and most of the time, especially when we're coloring, we're doing a lot of this. Okay, when we're doing a lot of this side of the hand does a lot of rubbing on the page. So I usually keep this here just because I don't want a lot of the color from here to transfer onto here, but it's also because I don't want this to act as a blender or a smudger on my page when I do stuff like that. Okay, so that's why I have this super high-tech paper towel for my coloring. This one is just in particular just super soft. Okay, so that's another thing I use for my pencil when I'm doing coloring. Another thing that I use for coloring, and this is always in my book, but this is so boring, guys. I remember when I was younger, I had a lot of anime looking ones, but now looking back, I'm kind of like, I can't, I don't want to use those anime ones because they're so pretty. So I got this plain, smoky looking one. Okay, you can see on my lighting. But it's plain, okay, and you can see underneath it. I don't know. Oh, there you go. You can see underneath it, and I pretty much put this on the bottom of my whatever I'm coloring. Okay, you can see it's kind of sticking out just a little bit, but it doesn't stick out when I do it the other way. But anyways, I do this just so that like when because I press hard when I'm coloring, sometimes I don't want the indentation of what I'm coloring to transfer onto the next page. Okay, so this is just something that I use and do when I'm coloring. Something else I use and do when I color is I use this. You've seen this on the inside of my coloring box. I'm just going to bring my coloring box right here. There we go. Almost the exact same thing, just without the names. This one, the one in my box, just has the numbers on it, which is enough for me. Okay, but I usually have this in. I transfer this between all my coloring books because this just tells me what colors I have in my coloring box. Okay, at least for this side here. I'm just gonna close my book for a second. Okay, there we go. As you notice, I have this kind of color wheel looking thing, and yeah, it looks very like elementary school kind of going like that kind of vibe. But again, I went from the darkest to the lightest, and the reason why I did this is because sometimes contrasting colors actually work with one another and they can give you some very cool results. So I'm going to go back to my Rhino page. And I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna zoom in. Zoom, 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 zoom. Look how pretty he is. Okay, so going back to here, as you can see, sorry, not going back to here. Going back to here, as you can see, I have some of these flowers with a whole bunch of colors in them, and for me, that's what I wanted for this particular leaf flower thing. Okay, I just wanted these flowers to be a little bit darker in comparison to this flower up here. I wanted, or this flower here, like I wanted it to look like there is some depth to my rhinoceros. And basically it's just you want lighter colors at the top and then darker items on the bottom. Okay, so just to make this darker, I had actually gone to my color wheel here. Okay, there's 8 colors here: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, light blue, dark blue, purple, and pink. Okay, and then I looked at yellow here, and I basically looked over. I'm like, oh, purple and blue, but mostly purple. I can use purple on this to kind of contrast that. Okay, so basically what I did was I went into my coloring box. I found kind of like a wine color, so it's still purplish red. Um, because I didn't want this to be a cool purple, I still wanted it to be a little warmer, and I just added some dark purple in there, very lightly. Okay, it's just, I guess, color theory that our elementary school teachers taught us, like when we were young, or at least when I was young. So, and I'm actually applying it to my coloring books. You don't have to do this. I just chose to do this. Okay, so this is usually what I have with me, and basically, as you can see, I would use a light hand. So I would use a light hand, do it nice and softly, and I would press a little harder as I got closer to the end here. And this is because I wanted to show myself in the future that these colors here, like this darker color here, is the true color of the pencil crayon. Okay, let's see. So the reason why I did this is because sometimes, I'm going to show you one color. Sometimes the color here that you see on the page is not the color of the pencil crayon, and this pencil crayon is actually a good example. So as you can see, here's the color pencil. This is, I'm going to cover that up, Prismacolor Premieres, that's what I'm using. Anyways, uh this body of color here is absolutely not the color that's over here. It looks darker, doesn't it? It looks darker. So sometimes, like when I'm picking out my colors, or usually when I'm picking out our colors, I usually look at this part here because that's the color I want, but then I sometimes forget to look at here. So that's why I made this guy here. just so that I can see, oh, that's the color. So this is grass green, number Prismacolor 909, Verde, and it's right here, guys. And I was able to, yeah, I'm actually coloring in right now. I'm just going to make it a little bit more bolder, I guess. There we go. And I this just has helped me so much because I would be wondering what color to use, and I just have to refer to this little chart that's here, and I'd be like, oh, I want this color. And what color can I match it with? Oh, I can match it with this color here if I want to make it lighter. And if I want to make it a little darker, oh, I can maybe use this violet blue that's right here. So this kind of visually, it helps me in particular. You can do this if you want to. I just used a regular cardstock for this, and a ruler, drew some lines, made whatever I needed to, and that's how this came to be. Okay, so I'm actually going to get to the coloring. I'm going to get my paper towel. Okay, and let's see if I'm going to, I need to shift some things around. Okay, so right now, I am going to use a lighter hand that I usually do, and I'm going to color in some of these leaves right here. So you can see, I mean, it's really, really light. Okay. And you're going to see something I do while I'm coloring is I'm actually going to go over some colors that are already on the page. I'm not really caring if they go out of line. So like something like this. As you can see, there's not much transfer in color. Okay, and that's what I like about Prismacolors. When you if you do it very hard, a lot of pigment is on the page, and if you go over the line by accident, it's not going to do much of a difference for you. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that and doing that. As you can tell, this one here I put a little bit more pressure on. Oh, there we go. So the reason why I'm being a little bit lighter with this particular color is because I have a lot of green already existing on the page. And for me right now, it is becoming a little harder to, um, it is becoming a little harder for me to come up with new combinations of green because everything just looks so stunning anyways. My rhinoceros is going to be gray. It's going to be a grayish brown. I think I am going to use the warm gray 50% or the warm gray or French gray. I still haven't decided yet, but you guys probably cannot see it. I did lightly go with a gray in some of the areas here, but again, it's hard to see because everything just looks very light right now. If I go to the edge here, you can see some of the gray. It's right here, versus the white page. Okay, so there's a little bit gray here, there's a little bit of gray here. So I'm going to just continue this for a little bit. There we go. Okay. And since I'm doing kind of like I'm filling up an area. If you guys can notice, I'm not going like up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm actually going like small circles. Sometimes when you're coloring, direction does matter. Okay. And for me, I'm doing circles because it just makes the leaf look a little bit more natural when I'm coloring it. Go. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see, I'm doing little circles. And again, I'm using a lighter hand than I usually do. And this is on purpose. Okay. I'm doing it with a lighter hand because I want the gray to kind of be more pronounced, just, or yeah, I want the gray to be a little bit more pronounced a little bit, but I also want whoever's looking at the image to see like, oh, there's a lot of green in there. And yeah, there is a lot of green in here. Okay, that's a stone. I don't know what to make color, what's the color to make that stone. Um, okay, I have a funky leaf here. So this leaf is actually the same as this leaf. Um, I may do the same colors. I may do something different. If you guys want, I'll show you guys how I do this. Yes. Okay, let's see. If I remember, I use this light green here for the middle. So you guys can see I'm doing it very, very lightly at first. And then I'm going to use a stronger green on the side, I believe. This was the green. So give me 1 second. I am going to sharpen this. There we go, all sharpened. All right. Gonna go lightly again. Gonna go on the edges here. Okay, now that I have my edge done, I'm gonna now add a little bit more pressure. And you guys can already see the color difference between before and after. And then I'm gonna use less pressure as I go towards the middle. But again, you can see I'm using little circles. Okay? And by using little circles, you soften up and naturally blend some areas. Okay, so now you can see something that's blended a little bit better, but it's not as green or vibrant as before. I am going to make a little bit of a bold bit here without blending it into the lighter areas, okay? And it's just to give some of the details of the leaf to come out a little bit more prominently. Okay, then I'm going to go back to here with my lighter color, and I'm going to press really, really hard. So I'm pressing really hard. I'm getting that pigment in there. And as I'm pressing hard, it actually is blending into the, the darker color. And we get this really cool blended effect right there. There we go. My leaf is done. And just to finish that off, I have a makeup brush that I got this from the dollar store. Okay, and because sometimes the pigments, when I'm pressing too hard, there's like, it makes little colored dust, so I'm going to use this brush and just brush it away. There we go, done. That's it. So I'm going to do another leaf. I'm going to show you guys one more time. Okay, so I'm going to do this leaf right here. We're just going to do the same things all over again. I'm going to light, I don't really have to do this part here, but anyways, so we're going to do it light first. Okay, and generally you do the light first just so that you can see like if you like the colors or not. Okay, and because it's so light, if you don't like it, so I did that and I don't really like it, I'm going to take my eraser here. I'm going to erase some of that off. Okay, and you can see it's already lighter than it was before. Okay, but because I actually did want it to be that color, I'm gonna go back again and add a little bit of green. I'm using a light touch. Okay, so it's literally giving it a touch of color. Then I'm gonna go back and get my darker color. Where are you? There we go. I'm gonna get my darker color here. And then I'm gonna gently, this is considered gently for me, guys, gently do the edges. Just like that. Okay, I know this will be bold green down here. I'm just gonna press a little harder. And since I know where my colors are, I'm gonna just outline it one more time, but this time I'm pressing a little harder on the edge here, on the edge, and on the edge there. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time on the top one here now. So on the edge here, you can see I'm a little bit lighter. Down here, and here. Okay, that's what I want. Then I'm gonna go over it again with a harder hand. So more pressure on the pencil crayon. Just like that. Okay, now they're both outlined. Gonna take the same pencil crayon and I'm gonna start hard here, like hard on the edge, and then as I go towards the middle of the leaf, I'm gonna lighten my touch or lighten the pressure. Okay, just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect, guys, because later you're going to be coming back with a lighter pencil crayon color, and that's just going to blend everything out. Okay, once again, I'm going to just mid vein here, just going to add a little bit of darkness there, just like that. Okay, same thing here. Let's do this in too. And you guys can see I'm not just doing it like one, I'm not doing like this, I'm doing small circles because it just looks, sometimes it just looks more natural that way. When I say natural, I mean like it doesn't look like you just used a bunch of lines to color it up. Okay, so I did my outline. I see there's some dust. You can see there's some dust here. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to just swipe that away. I'm going to take my light color here. So this one here. I'm just going to go over this with a lot of pressure. And you can see it just blends so easily. And this is why I like using Prismacolors. So for this leaf here, I'm going to be using a different color. I know I have the base color of this. I'm going to use chartreuse. This is chartreuse, guys. Chartreuse is a little bit more yellow. There we go. There we go. That's the color I wanted. There we go. So usually when I'm doing a color, I guess, series like this, so I'm going to dust that off. So usually when I'm doing a color series like this, I like doing similar leaves all at the same time. That way I don't have to worry about finding the colors all over again. As you can tell, I have missed a few leaves, such as this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color that in. I believe it's just the one that's right here. And hopefully that's the last one that I've missed. Okay. So let's just do that very quickly. Get a little bit of green in there, the darker green. So this one is grass green. One of my favorite greens in this entire pack. I have tried to purchase different brands of colored pencils. I Unfortunately, I just prefer the Prismacolor. You don't have to use Prismacolors. I just prefer them for myself. Um, I'm pretty sure there's other brands out there that are just as high quality as Prismacolor, but this is just like what I am accustomed to, which is why I use these. I think at one point I did try to buy some pencil crayons, a different brand from Michaels, using a one of those like 50% off coupons. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to use those coupons on high-end color pencils. So, uh, guys, I did try. There we go. Okay, so you guys can see that now I have like two colors that are kind of clashing a little bit here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go grab a contrasting color. So for me, it would be around one of these three colors here. I'll be right back. So I've just grabbed a color and I have chosen Crimson Lake. And you guys are going to see what a opposing color does. I know you professional artists out there are going to yell at me to not use it. You guys are probably right. Very lightly, I'm going to take this. I know this is a darker color, but very lightly, I'm going to take this color here. Very lightly. I'm going to trace it right here, like it's a shadow. Very lightly. Okay, and you can see it's already adding some depth to my leaf here. Okay, I'm gonna get a blender to blend this out. If you guys don't know what a blender pencil is, a blender pencil like this, colorless. Okay, there's no color to this. Basically, it's just the same material as the core. I'm gonna just get some of that extra color off from earlier. Okay, and basically what it does, because it's colorless, but it is the same material as this core, just with no color. So when I'm going to be blending items out, it's going to help smudge a little bit easier. So let's get on to this. Okay, so just watch, guys. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. So you can see the blender has made the red not as sharp and has actually blended it perfectly together, just like that. Okay, and now there's a difference between these two leaves. Okay, it gives it a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to go back to my other leaves here, and I'm going to do the same for this leaf. Oh, sorry, for this leaf here. Okay, because it's a little bit too close to this one. Maybe I should do it the other way around. Okay, I'll do it the other way around. So very gently, I'm going to take my red here. I'm going to do a very light line of red right here. And I want to do a little bit in the veins. There we go. Just like that. And I'm just going to do that right there like that. Okay. And then we're going to get our blender here. And it's just going to lightly go over it. Just like that. And you guys can see how easy that is. There we go. So now that leaf is now a lot more different than this leaf. They don't look like the same leaf. Okay. I think that's it. That's what I'm just gonna be showing you guys on camera. I don't want to subject you guys to another few hours of coloring because coloring can take a while for me. But that's just because I'm just very careful and I just want to make sure I get all the details properly. Uh, but yeah, that's just how I do some of my coloring. I just have to figure out some of the colors for my items here. Like this, I have a, I don't know if you guys can see. I can't see on the camera, but there's a screwdriver here that I made red. There's a crayon down here. There's a boomerang I need to figure out the color of. The light bulb. There's a horn. I think that's a French horn. Um, I have binoculars. I have I have shakers here, and there's a gear here. So there's like a lot of things. There's a stone here, but I'm pretty sure I'm not making that gray because it's very close to the color of the rhinoceros. So hopefully I'll get my very colorful rhinoceros done uh, eventually. This will be, I guess, my ongoing series for procrastination. Oh, I forgot the beetle. There's a beetle here. So this is my procrastination right now that I have been working on. If I'm not working on my keychains, I might be going back to this when my keychains are finished. Okay, but the next one is a unicorn, maybe. But there's so many beautiful pieces of art in here. So many ways to get inspired, guys. Uh, I'm pretty sure these books are still being sold now, even though I got this years ago. Oh, the other reason why I use this pencil board is if I did color, let's say the unicorn first, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do the rhinoceros afterwards, this board actually protects color transfer from one page to the other of my coloring. Okay, so let me just show you guys as an example. So as you can see, spotless on this page because I use a color board. This is my fishies, and this is actually similar to my other fish. Let me just go grab that. So I have this book of like Vive le Color Japan coloring book, and let's see, I did these. So for here, this is actually a good example. You can see my directions. I went this way because this was such a large area that I could not escape from. But if you actually look on the edges here, I did it this way. But then if you look at these edges here, I did it this way. And you can kind of see it's kind of seamless. There we go. So it is a little seamless so that you can see that. You can see that. Okay, another one I did with the background, it was this one here. There we go. So there's this. I wanted this one more to be like, you know, like fabric, the patterns of fabric. This one's a little bit simpler, but you can also see, I'm going to just do a double zoom here. You can see how some of it I did not blend, except for right here. So I didn't blend here. Oh, sorry, I didn't blend here, but I blended here and I blended here and all the surrounding leaves. Okay. And then the other one, this is my last one in this one, before I decided to do a rhinoceros, was this guy here. Okay. This guy here. So this particular drawing Okay, so here's the other thing about coloring books, guys. You don't have to do them exactly as the coloring book, or like the outline show you. This particular fish right here, it actually didn't have any guidance to do like a red spot here. In this coloring book, let's see, how much can I zoom in? Okay, in this particular coloring uh, page, um, I had done a silly thing, and I had actually asked, I took a picture of this and I asked my AI to color the page for me. And it did. And I was so disappointed because I'm like, oh my God, these are the colors I would exactly use. And I kind of wanted it to be different. So then I decided to um, look up uh, a few pictures of koi, and I know I have some koi on my mats. But I looked up a few pictures of koi, and I decided, you know what, I like the ones with the spot on the head, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And as you can see, I'm going to zoom one more time. I'm going to zoom in one more time. You can see that I used a darker color and just like made circles. Okay, so I used circles to give kind of like a scaly texture to this fish. Okay, and I kind of did that all over. Okay, and then I don't know if you can see, like I have to turn the book every once in a while, but as you can see, I use direction to my advantage here because this is a fish, so with little light strokes. Okay, little light strokes I did towards the tail, because usually towards the tail it does get lighter, but I made these lines here purposely uh, more dominant so that you could see, like, oh, that's the fibers of a fish tail. Like if you look at a fish's tail, it's not just one, it's not just like a piece of skin, it's literally you can see the cells kind of going this way, kind of like if you look at a leaf is just not like a leaf. You can see the tiny little cells on it that make the leaf a leaf. So that was my reasoning for this. As you can also see, I did some of the circles as well when doing the water, just to give it more of a water look. There we go. Just so that it wasn't boring. Okay, so I did some blending here, and then like so you can see the smooth blending here, but then you can also see I did like more exaggerated circles just to make it look like this is water, like there's texture to this water. Okay, like the water is moving. So yeah, that's what I did here. And again, here you can see I made some of the strokes a little bit more deliberate for the petals, just to give it some direction. Okay, so yeah, this is just some examples. Again, this is just another book that I got, and I just decided to stop because inspiration was not hitting me at that time. But I have coloring that will last me for ages. Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining me today. I know this was a long video. It's almost been an hour. We're at the 43-minute mark right now, going to 44. But I just want to thank you guys for joining me today, and hopefully you did learn a little bit of something about coloring. I probably will do this again, and probably I'll explain some I guess techniques again. But when I start to get into the rhinoceros's amazing wrinkles, uh, I did find this particular coloring challenging because I don't really like rhinoceroses, but I still know, like, I still want to do this particular one, even though he's just like a normal um it's just a normal rhinoceros with a lot of leaves and greenery around it. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for subscribing. Oh my God, thank you to my subscribers. um I thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for coming to watch me to do just a little bit of, I guess, arts and crafts. Like this would be arts, I guess you could say. If you have any suggestions on what I could do for some of these colors, like some of these objects. So I have a rune stone, I have a gear, I have binoculars, a French horn. I have a light bulb, but I think I have a plan for the light bulb. And I have a boomerang and a crayon that I need to color. So yeah, like if you guys have any suggestions, oh, and maracas, if you guys have any suggestions on what I should color some of these items, I will definitely take those suggestions. I just want something to pop out, I guess you could say. So but because I have a lot of colors in here, like I have the reds, yellows, and greens, and now I have some blues and purples in here. I have a golden scarab. um it is a little hard to come up with colors that will actually pop, because if I mean, I could just color them in black, right? Anyways, please like and subscribe. Please comment if you do have any suggestions for me. I will definitely look into those, and I will play around with it. I can tell you this already looks better than my AI version. So this already looks like my AI version. And again, I just asked A. Oh, I have a music note here. Anyways, I asked AI how to color this, and man, I am kind of jealous of AI doing it better than I am, but unfortunately, I killed a few trees while asking that. But anyways, take care, guys. Have a fantastic day. Please stay hydrated. It is a hot summer this year, and please take care of yourselves. Take care. Bye. Thank you for joining me. I'm Pinecone Sushi.